Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space where we discuss everything relationships. And I'm your host, Franca. Today is going to be our last episode for the year. So we decided to have our genge. What is what genge? Genge people.
I don't know what Gengen means. I'm a Ras boy.
Yeah, a rat boy.
Yes.
Okay. So we decided to have our posh and okay. So she is the ras person, while Jacinta is the
That is a
posh
posh
person.
one, yeah.
So we decided to have one ras person and one posh person with us in the studio today, and then we have a combination of both in the person of Sajo with us via Zoom. Hello, Sajo. Are you there,
I'm here
my
and
chairman?
thank you for having me, but I do not know if I fit into your description.
Please tell us who you are. I know you are the Bini man. I know you are a Bini. I know you are an Edo man. How else do
Yes,
you
I'm
want
an
us
Esan
to?
man.
Esan man. Okay. With a bit
Asa.
of
Asa, that's where my mom is from.
your mom is Esan.
Yeah.
Oh, that you just got a brother there.
Yeah.
Sajo, you see your sister? Her mama na Esan woman.
Yeah.
Our daughter, good to have you.
Same here.
So on today's show, we decided to bring back our conversation on Monday. So we're discussing the legal approach to separation and divorce because we had people call in to say, so we had this conversation on Monday and we had people call in to say, oh, we needed to expatiate more on certain things. And since it's our last day, we just decided to say, you know what, let's help people understand how to navigate certain things so they don't break up before we come back. Oh. And if you have to break up, make sure that you go listen to Sajo so that you go collect plenty things. Jacinta is already asking me how the sharing formula is when they want to divorce. So please know that you can call us. You can call us to join these conversations on 070-2500-7749 or 070-1424-2420 or send a WhatsApp message on 081 90384663. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV and then follow us on all our social media platforms. Sajo, we're not going to talk today. We're just going to chill, ask questions, and just enjoy the show. Now you be our host today. So Sajo, over to you. How we want to do today?
I would be waiting for questions to answer, but I
Okay, so Sajo, the last time, we couldn't finish. We didn't have enough time to finish the conversation. And I remember we had a conversation the next day and you were telling me something happened in court. You want to share?
I was just going to expound on what I already said at the program that you do not you do not agree to divorce,
Okay.
that our law does not permit that. So I was explaining to you that I was before a court the
Okay.
very next day, and then the judge gave a very sound judgment on um, the need to satisfy one of the conditions of Section 15(2) in order that dissolution of marriage will be granted by the court. And the court even went further to make orders on restitution of conjugal rights. That simply means putting it in a regular balance. Go back and continue performing your duty as the
Ha!
husband or the wife of the marriage. That you are both not qualified to be divorced. You have not satisfied the courts
Oh, wow.
that
Wow.
you come under any of the requirements in section 15 sub 2. So that was to further establish what I said to you the previous day,
Mm-hmm.
that unlike the
She's
movie
friend.
allusion, where people say, "Oh, I signed off my divorce," and we had an agreement and we signed. That does not happen in Nigerian courts. You must go into the witness box and satisfactorily establish that you fall within the conditions listed in section 15(2) of the Matrimonial Causes Act.
Okay.
Sa- Sajo, you still not explicitly stated what the court said. The court in Nigeria can force you to be husband and wife, meaning that they'll force you to have what do you call? What's the English? They'll force you to have sex. Is that what the court is saying?
They're not saying you must have sex, but they're saying that you should go
Live
back
together.
and live as husband and wife. He's not saying you should have sex.
Oh, I thought
Now-
you said
now-
conjugal.
Now,
True.
conjugal rights and responsibility is beyond sex.
Okay.
So if you had eloped from the house and you believe that by running away from the house you are now free, the court has ordered you to return to your matrimonial home and continue performing your duty as either a wife or a husband,
Okay.
depending on who the respondent was in the matter or is in the matter.
Well, Sergio,
So
this couple.
no,
Okay.
but
Okay, no, Sergio, I was going to ask that
Please
this
go ahead.
couple, these particular couples, were they separated at any point?
they had lived apart for some years, I think. As a matter of fact, I said I was going to, because I spoke with the registrar, I was going to apply for CTC of that judgment and forward it to you,
Okay.
so that will guide you on what the court clearly said. I mean, it's not a regular kind of judgment you see every now and then, but it is actually a judgment that reflected completely on the purpose, the core of our matrimonial causes proceedings,
Okay.
which is to the extent that divorce is not granted nilly-willy. It's not a gift. It's not, oh, I'm no longer comfortable living with Mr. A or Mr. B and I pack my load and I leave. No. You must come to court and prove one of those requirements in section 15 to not just saying it in the open court. You must satisfy the court that those things actually exist and convince the court that in your case, you can no longer reasonably be expected to live with your spouse.
Okay.
So it's beyond, I signed it out.
Okay.
I was just saying that to you to address
Yes,
the
I
I signed it
understand.
out
Yes,
approach.
I get that point. So,
Back to-
but
yeah.
Sergio, my question now is, if both of them say they don't want anymore, and they don't have proof, they're just tired of each other, so they can't get a divorce just by being tired of each other.
No,
Okay.
you can't get a divorce by being tired of each other. Now, there's an escape route, which
Okay.
I'm not sure I should be saying on air, but there's an escape. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Now, there's an escape route, which I'm not sure I should be saying on air.
Okay.
It
Okay.
is to the extent that you could move out of your matrimonial causes
Is it
home
irreconcilable
stay-
differences?
you could move out of your matrimonial home and stay apart for 4 or 5 years and then come to court. Then you could be lucky to see a judge that will apply the no fault rule
Okay, because you have been apart for 4 or 5 years.
I thought it was 2 years.
for 4 or 5 years, for
So-
3 years,
I
4
thought it was
years,
2.
and then the court will now say, you know what, at this point, this has broken down irretrievably. There will be no need to apply any form of fault. So the court
Okay.
will apply the no fault rule,
Okay.
and
But so that can happen within 2 years.
no, it cannot.
Okay. Okay, so Sergio, another thing that we were talking about behind the scene, you know, when we spoke, you said that same day when we spoke, you said when we asked about what happens for the payment and sharing of the things, you know, sometimes the women don't work, the men buy things in their names, and the women just feel that because the properties are in the man's name, they don't have right to anything, you know. So, but how does that work? Because if the woman doesn't have a job and she doesn't have anything to her name, but there are issues in the marriage, is she going to walk out of the marriage without anything?
And let me add, how do they enforce it that she gets what she deserves? Like,
Yeah.
how is it enforced?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Sergio.
Still come back to
Okay.
Okay, now the guiding principles on family property
Okay.
is not tied to monetary contribution. Put differently, as long as the property was acquired during the pendency of the marriage, Or even if the land, let's say, even if the property was acquired before the marriage was contracted, as long as the development of that property was done while the marriage was on, the woman is entitled to a percentage of the property. Now, the other question would be, how can this be enforced? Of course, it's enforceable in court. Once you're able to convince the court that this property was first, this property belongs to either party, either the man or the woman. Secondly, was acquired while we were married. Thirdly, I made contributions to the acquisition of this property. Then the court will enter judgment in your favor. Now, the confusion will be, what is contribution? The court has have heard over time that contribution needs not be monetary. That it could be emotional balance, it could be homekeeping, as long as you are in the marriage. For instance, if let's say Sheyi is married to Franca, and then Franca is not working, and Franca is taking care of the kids at home, she's making contribution to the growth of the family. Any property acquired within that period will be shared between Sheyi and Franca in the event they end up in dissolution.
Okay. So how would that be enforced? The sharing, as in how would that be?
Because a lot of women, they go through problems with, it can be the extended family, and the court can say, okay, take
I can't hear you. Can you speak louder a bit?
Okay, can you hear me? Yeah. So a lot of people.
Yes, I can.
When there's a court order that says, okay, this is yours, or take this. First of all, how do they know what she's to take? First of all, because most people, they don't always know what they have. Yeah, they don't know everything. But even when it's that, a lot of women still find it difficult to actually take that which the court has given them because of either family, extended family. It's either fighting them, or the husband doesn't want anything.
The man is not alive.
Even sometimes the man is the one fighting the woman as well. So how do the courts come in such disputes where they can then help the woman get what it has? Because a lot of women don't know that these things work. They just think that when they leave, they have nothing.
They have nothing.
So a lot of them leave the house with nothing. A lot of women. So how do they know that after the court proceedings and when they finally get something,
their lawyer goes back?
Yes. So how they need to know this. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what Sajay is saying. The lawyer now fights because you come back.
Do they get the police involved?
The scenario you painted is not, with the kind of explanation to them, is not realistic. The court judgment is always detailed. The court can say, sell property, number 1A, Sheyi Drive, Magodo, Lagos. And the proceeds of the sale of that property will share equally amongst between the petitioner and the respondents, or 40-50. The court, or 40-60. The court will be very express in its judgments that this property should be sold and shared. Now, if that is the judgment of the court, the judgment can be enforced the way we enforce every other judgment. You either cause the sale, or you bring a contempt proceedings against the wife or the husband who refused to sell the property. And then once the contempt proceedings is commences, and then the court finds either party in contempt, then the person goes to jail, and the judgment was enforced. So I'll give you an instance.
Okay.
Now, it is not difficult at all to enforce any judgment of court. In one of the cases we handled, a senior staff of Diamond Bank, the courts awarded maintenance that every month pay the sum of XYZ to your wife. At the point he didn't pay, and I wrote to him and asked him to abide by the judgment of the courts. He was still acting up. I came back to court and asked the court to make an order to attach his salary directly from the bank. And the court acceded to that prayer and attached the salary directly from the bank. The bank did not remit 1 month. I brought a contempt proceedings against the MD of Diamond Bank. And then they started running helter-skelter. And then from then onwards, they started paying regularly. Because what would have happened is that the MD of Diamond Bank would have ended up in jail.
Okay. For matter we not consign now.
No, that's
For
a good one.
no,
Because
at that point, the matter come consign her because at that point the court had given order to the MD to attach his salary before remittance. So if you are paying 200,000 naira to the wife, before you remit his salary, remove 200,000 and credit this account every month, every 25th of the month. So enforcement is not difficult at all.
okay, if I
It
may
is ignorance
add,
as the
if I'm
problem,
sorry,
and then their unwillingness to consult with legal practitioners. They feel they can
can I
sit
add
in their house
something?
and comport
Can I
law
add
and
something
pretend to understand.
to the
Yes,
alimony?
please.
Yes, to the alimony. Let me ask this question. So, what is the sharing formula in percentage?
For alimony.
Yes, for alimony. So, how do they come to the fee that the woman is that is expected of him to pay her? So, is it according to the number of children or the years she has, or her lifestyle? What exactly is it? What is the ratio? What is the the sharing pattern or the formula in which you can deduce that which the woman is worth?
I think
And another thing is, let me add this, please. If just in case he doesn't have a boss and he's an entrepreneur who has his own business, then how do you go about it to find a way to actually still pay the lady the alimony now that he doesn't have a boss, now that
you
he's
can
his own
report it.
boss?
Maybe he's self-employed.
Yeah. So how then do you go about that one?
first of all, I think you are discussing maintenance, not alimony. So let me run on maintenance. Now, for purpose of maintenance, what the court will look at is the standard of living you had before the dissolution of the marriage. Let's say while we were married, while Sheyi was married to Franca,
I do like my
He like wala. Sajo, would they hear you?
Sheyi was giving Franca 200,000 naira every month for upkeep of the house. Irrespective of the amount of children they have, maybe they have. Sheyi be like person will get 7 children. Maybe they have 7
I
children.
like children.
Yeah, you like children.
He has only 2 kids.
Economy no agree me.
And then she was giving 200K, 200,000 naira per month. The court would sustain that and possibly say it will be reviewed over time.
Okay.
Now, if I achieve that and she says, "Oh, I will not pay this money again because I am an entrepreneur," there are 2 ways. Either attach his money, allow the money to accrue so that it will be much. File a garnishee process against Shei's account and attach his money in his account.
Wow.
Or, because you really do not like Shei anymore and Shei is just stubborn, start contempt proceedings against him, let him go to jail.
And sleep there.
But everybody
So
loses when I go
you
to
will
jail.
still apply the
The
enforcement
money dries up.
procedure as you
Why
would
don't
do
you
in
let them
other
pay then?
judgments of court.
Okay. But Sajo, what if there was no monthly allowance?
Yes.
If there was no monthly allowance, I don't understand.
If there was no regular monthly allowance, because sometimes they just have a pattern that the man might just give 500 this time, she uses it, then another time if you just give 1 million, like that. There's no monthly allowance.
The standard of living.
Now you must guide the court. It is that
Okay.
pattern that you need to establish in the
Okay.
court.
Okay.
You have
So
to tell
say,
the court. Okay, this is what happens.
this is how we run the home.
Home. Okay.
Every fortnight or every Eke market day, it gives me 50,000 naira to go to market.
Okay.
Accumulatively in a month, I get 150.
Okay.
So because I will not see him every Eke market day, my lord, please tell him to be giving us 150 monthly.
Okay.
And with the situation we are in Nigeria now, the 50,000 can no longer work on the Eke market day.
So
Let's make it 70. You see the courts.
it's a conversation.
The courts would never be able to arrive at just decisions without feeding and furnishing the court with verifiable facts.
Okay.
Okay.
So it is what you give to the court that the court can put to use And so most times when you hear people say that, oh, I didn't get judgments in court, ask them what they fed the court with.
Okay.
It's like you
The
going to
court will
see a
not
doctor.
manufacture facts for you.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Okay.
like you going to see a doctor,
And you're not saying
and
what
you're
is
not
wrong
saying
with
exactly what you have, what the problem is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
you. Okay.
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 To be honest, right, I told you the last time that I was in court for a very
friend.
good friend's proceedings. And when they gave judgment, it was very holistic. Like they covered areas that had to do with PTA of the kid. You know, why the parent, the father should be there for the PTA. It was a very holistic, detailed judgment.
Okay.
And I mean, that just shows to what
he's saying
in terms of
how detailed they are
they
and how
can
they
be,
try and they
yeah,
can be when they need to do
all
this.
that.
Yes, so because we don't have the real picture of what happens in there. But there's a question I want to ask, and you were saying something that maintenance allowance and alimony are two different things, because she was saying alimony. Sergio, please, can you expatiate on that? Let's understand what maintenance and alimony is.
Alimony is bulk payment, maintenance is routine payments.
Okay. So the bulk payment is what you get off
The
initially
divorce.
after the divorce.
If you are entitled to it.
Wow. So
do-
how are you not entitled to it? Like, don't you have kids?
You
Don't
can be
you?
in breach of it.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Now,
I
now
think
you
that's
see,
what I'm saying.
you see, in all circumstances, right? What you are entitled to is what you can prove. So what Mr. A would get and what Mr. B would get would never be the same. It has to be on case-to-case basis.
Yeah.
It's what you can establish that will be given to you. The court, like we always say, the court is not for that Christmas.
Yeah.
I was listening to Shahid talk about a very elaborate judgment. That comes from the pleadings. It is what the parties filed. If the counsel is detailed and listed everything, so we just put a bulk payment. Oh, maintenance. But some will say maintenance, quarterly review of clothing, health, football training, ballet training.
New car.
Some will list it. They will bring it, and once it's listed in that manner, it becomes easier for us to comprehend and understand. And then when we go for a compulsory conference, we're able to discuss all of that and possibly agree on them. Because you will know as parents before, and it is really embarrassing. Before the whole madness of divorce started, you lived together in the same house.
Yeah.
You know what your kids were enjoying. You know that Christopher had regular football trainings, and money was being paid for that. You were the one paying. So you cannot say because you are likely going to be divorced, you will stop all of that and allow the children suffer for what they knew nothing about, and which is for me the most emotional part of this practice. When you begin to use kids as baits and negotiation tools for what they know nothing about, you know.
Okay. When is it punishable by law if he does not give that which he's supposed to do? Because now the court has said do this and do that and do that, and maybe he stops giving these things. He's not, providing that which he's supposed to do.
Okay, yeah,
when
so
is it punishable
that's
by
true.
law?
Yeah.
Like when would the law enforcement come into play if he does not
he
provide
doesn't do
this? Is
it?
it after 3 months?
I was
Is
gonna
it after
ask that,
4
yeah.
months?
So it depends. I think
Yeah.
from what he said, depends on what. But Sergio, okay.
Yeah, so now they have told him to pay. So then he now defaults. Over how long can he now become
what
punishable
are the
by law?
steps?
And what are the punishments?
Steps to it.
He already answered that. He gave an example of his a case they handled that he said the guy was a Diamond Bank. They didn't pay for 2 months, and then he wrote a letter.
So I'm saying that just in case now there's a scenario where he doesn't pay and they cannot get him to they cannot take the money from him, You understand what I mean?
Okay, yeah, okay, so that one,
So it's already
because they could
settled.
pay,
Yes, because you
it's
could pay, so it's
settled.
already easier. You know what I mean? Like, okay, now the court has told you pay 500,000 every month. Maybe you paid the first month, you've paid the second month, the third month, maybe the fourth month you defaulted, you did not
Because
pay.
I think,
Then
Sajo, I think the question is,
when is it now punishable by law if he keeps defaulting? Is it after 3 months? Is it after 4 months? If he doesn't pay in a stretch, that then the law enforcement can then come in.
so I think, personally, I think they would look into why he's not paying, whether he actually doesn't have.
Because it looks like a debt.
No,
kind of
no. But what I'm
case.
trying to say is, does the man have to maybe report himself to some sort of authority to
Okay,
say,
if he's
okay,
unable to
yeah, if
pay.
he's unable to pay,
Okay, yes.
and then say, okay, listen, I've not been able to pay. This is my issue,
give
or
me time.
than just keeping quiet and
Okay,
maybe the woman,
okay.
both of them are going back and forth on arguments. You've not paid. You've not paid.
Okay.
So when is it punishable
Sajo, what
by
happens
law?
in that scenario?
It's punishable by law the day you default.
Wow,
What if the guy actually doesn't have money?
you just gonna borrow.
You should go and look for the money.
But a lot of people do that. They borrow money
it
to
is-
pay.
No, think about it now.
Yeah.
If you have kids going to school,
We not
are you-
borrow
will
the
you
money
tell
to
them, "Sit down,
to pay.
my friend, go and
So
borrow
so
money
from the
and pay."
very day you default,
Yeah.
oh, that's a good one.
Look, the judgment of the court
You're laughing.
has no room for emotions.
Good,
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
factual, lovely.
in our first year in university, we had a dean. Was it first or second year? We had a dean called. His name was Professor Sam Ibony. Am I still on?
Yes,
Yes, you're
Yes,
on,
you
we're
are.
listening.
We are fully focused.
Because I can't see you guys again.
No, we're
We
seeing
can
you.
see
Can
you.
see us.
We can see you.
Actually, we can see you.
Now, Professor Sam Ibony, late now, a wonderful man, told us that the reason we are to wear black suits over white shirts is that it matters not how pure and holy our heart is. We must have zero emotion and conceal all purity with a fair judgment of black. And then when we are called and we wear the wig,
Wow.
it is so that we are deemed to have acquired wisdom. So, as a lawyer, the first thing you're taught is to reduce your emotional level to zero.
Okay.
Because there'll be times in the courtroom where possibly you'll be representing a client and then maybe for a murder charge, and then he's convicted and sentenced to death. At that point, you know what you will do? You will stand up and say, as the court pleases, without betraying any emotion. So the question as to whether he has or he does not have, there's no room to negotiate a judgment of court except you appeal against it.
Okay.
Okay.
If you do not appeal against it, it's subsisting, and then you must
Honor it.
give effect or honor it,
Yeah.
if I can use that word. So you can't come and say, "Oh, I do not have the money." Hello, you are who they play that play.
So I think it brings us to the point that the most important person in the whole legal proceedings are the children.
Yes. The way it's looking.
Yeah, like no. I mean,
They might not have
understand.
kids.
But that's another issue because I think that if they don't have kids, the woman wouldn't get a lot. They don't
I think that
sympathize.
you
I think-
said the most important person is what? Is who?
The kids. They said so. The most important people in the divorce thing are the kids.
I think they pay more attention to
They
the
pay more
kids.
attention to the
So
kids.
then what happens to women who don't have children in the marriage and they've been there for maybe 7-8 years?
I think it still goes back to what
Please,
saying.
at what point in our discussion did I mistakenly say they pay more attention to the kids? I can't
No,
recall
you
saying
didn't
that.
say.
You didn't
We were
say.
just inferring.
No, we're just inferring that they have to look into the welfare of the children.
yeah.
So the children are very important
Important.
during
like
divorce.
like if you
It's
don't
not the children. It's not the children. I said this at the last time we met, that maintenance is to put the family, though not separated, in the position they were when the marriage was subsisting.
So
So
with or
put
without
differently,
children?
Oh, okay.
and I've said this to you, Madam Franca, before, that if the man does not have, it is the woman's duty to maintain the man
Yes.
and ensure that she pays the man money for his upkeep and maybe other things he needs to do to keep body and soul together.
See, Jacinta. So the woman will be paying and the man will go and get girlfriend.
Yes.
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 Jacinta, why is your face like
But,
that?
no. Nobody's discussing girlfriend here.
Okay.
Because if you're paying maintenance to if you're paying maintenance to the wife, you do not ask what he does
What
with
she's using
it.
it for? Okay.
Now, if you don't want, let me
Say it in
come
pidgin
to
English.
another level of it.
Yes.
In pidgin, I should say the pidgin.
Say it in pidgin English.
If you never tire for food, not stand up for that table.
Nice one.
If the food still there your eye,
Sit down.
why you go divorce? So if you get to the point of divorcing, what is your business with what he does with his?
The money you spent to him.
Yeah.
Yes, whether he's distributing it and then starving, maybe that's the lifestyle he needs to survive, or that's the lifestyle she needs to survive. So it's not your business what he does with it, as long as
You they pay the money and the man they collect them.
you pay him so that he will not die. That's our problem. Amen.
Let's quickly go on the break. When we come back, we'll continue.
Right back.
Life is made up of moments, some that lift us, others that break us. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space where we explore the beauty, the heartbreaks, and the incredible strength that every relationship brings into our lives. Friendship, marriages, partnerships, and everything in between.
Yes, say yes.
All the connections that shapes who we are today. Every week, we dive into the stories that define us. Stories of love, loss, heartbreaks, and healing. Real life stories from real people, just like you and I. Heartlines is where emotions meet understanding, and where we learn that we're never truly alone. Join me Mondays through Fridays at 9:30 p.m. for Heartlines, where we connect with every heart, one story at a time.
Thanks for staying with us on Heartlines.
Our phone lines are still open, so you can call us on 070-2500-7749 or 070-1424-2420. During the break, we had this very interesting question from Sheyi. Sheyi, please, do you want to ask Sajo a question, please?
Yes.
I need Sajo to hear that.
So, this is a personal. Sajo, are you there?
I am here, but you're faint. I'm
Okay.
struggling to hear you.
So, can you hear me very well now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so this is I wanted to find out the situation or how to go about it. The court has given a judgment, right? One party has refused to abide by the judgment of the court. The other party is tired because basically going through this process has taken a couple of years. And the other party is saying, I don't want to go through that number of years again. I'm tired. Anything that wants to happen, let it happen. Going back to the court to report the fact that this judgment that you gave has not been executed by the other party. How do you go through that without going back through the process of another 2-3 years of going to the court, 4 years sometimes? to have that executed, how do you speed up that process and say, this person didn't honor this judgment? So what's the solution? How do we move on from there? The other party is tired. I'm not going to court again. Anything that wants to happen, let it happen. How do we handle that whole scenario?
Okay. First off, the process of executing judgment is not as cumbersome as the process of full trial, and it is shorter. I've told you either of the routes that you can take, and either of those routes will not take you up to 6-7 months in most jurisdictions. So I do not think it's so much of a problem if you want to execute the judgment of the court. In any case, most times once you file for execution, the person wakes up and begins to perform their duties. The problem is that most clients or most parties will not want to go back and consult with their lawyers, who could, maybe because they think they'll pay another post-judgment proceedings fee.
Okay.
So they would rather just sit back and allow the judgment of court to be flouted by their spouse. And there are situations where after a while you become fond of each other again, and then you want to return to that marriage. do not roll your eyes. I've seen that happen again too.
Sajo, please.
And I've seen it happen in a very bizarre manner that shocked me.
Okay.
Because of the nature of the divorce that we pursued.
Okay.
So there are several times where women will go back to their divorced husband and rekindle their relationship. And then they'll start discussing how wicked and ruthless
your lawyer
was and unyielding. Yeah, of course, they'll put the blame on us. So, enforcement is not as difficult as trial. You could actually go to court and enforce your judgment within the shortest possible time.
Okay.
If you want to.
Okay.
So like 3 months.
So that's interesting, that after
or less.
divorced.
Or less, okay.
So Sajo, you're saying they've actually divorced. So in the process of collecting your monthly...
you never signed for social media before.
Your maintenance fee.
Your maintenance fee.
And maybe he defaulted. Okay, back to now.
Yeah, back to that.
Reconcile.
I actually saw it somewhere.
Are you serious?
Where the lawyer brought the case to the court of social media and it was like, see clients where I dey fight for. I go their house today. Nara party woman type.
when there are children involved in such relationship, it could be, I want to come pick the kids for weekend, or I want to drop them. How are you? You look good. Can we have coffee this morning?
Sajo, sorry to cut you short. The reason why I'm talking is because there was a situation on one of the earlier episodes, right? And these earlier episodes had to do with exes being friends, and I think you brought it up about the ex coming to cook for you in the house, and this is just a diversion because
I hope it was not pepper soup that she cooked.
What happened? They were cooking.
They did not die.
They call her to come cook for house.
The man call her, make it come cook for house. So
after they don't separate.
Well, guess what? They don't separate. So whether separated or divorced, maybe the woman sabi cook.
No, it's
and
a
after
critical
he cook
situation.
for kitchen, and after he cook for kitchen, he sabi cook for the other room.
Yeah, just waste everybody's time.
How can you? Why you angry?
They go court, they don't separate. Which way till they go cook for your house again?
You just heard Sajo trying to explain. Why did you cut him short? He was trying to explain to us that the children sometimes need father and mother together.
I'm not sure that was part of the judgment of the court that said she could not cook for him.
Thank you.
And of course, they can come back together as well.
What I was even trying to say is the fact that, like you said, Sajo, that if you
firewood must catch
no,
fire.
no. If you never full, if food never tire you, no stand up the
No,
table.
but sometimes you think you're full.
But yeah, sometimes you think you're full.
Sometimes
Actually,
you think
But
you're
you also
full.
know that there's a particular way that you will revamp or rebrand food.
yes.
After I got tired, you can't be hungry you again.
This is Joan. I mean, the biggest problem we get on this show today. so maybe
Then she's looking nice.
Yeah.
She's lost some weight.
Yeah,
you know.
she's lost some weight. Like,
It's looking well garnished.
it's looking good. So Sir John, but it's a good thing. I personally think.
Rebranding of food. I'm speaking food though. I don't know what you are discussing. It's food, I said.
But seriously, it's a good thing that people can actually admire each other, because sometimes you'll be shocked that the reason for the divorce is just because they have seen each other finish.
Yeah, and then lack of communication.
And lack of communication.
And the whole idea of marriage, it can be daunting
Draining,
sometimes.
You know what
so
I mean? By the time they've separated for a while,
I know
and
that you're free. I'm free to do whatever.
And you just
The spark
realize
can
that
come
you
again.
know what,
Yeah.
this guy not bad before. The guy now say this woman not bad. Especially maybe the guy even started dating people now, like
she's not as good. Yeah.
she's not as bad now.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. That
So
could
it's
be
okay,
it as
Sheyi.
well.
Like I told you, it's okay.
It's fine.
Old firewood must catch fire.
Sir Joe, I wanted to ask you.
You know whether you are divorcing or divorced, whether you're in a marriage through time, you realize that what you did 5 years ago in your marriage, you can no longer do today. The tantrums you were throwing 5 years ago, you won't throw them today. So through age, you'd have maybe understood each other better and learn how to live. Let me give you an instance. I saw something. A very good friend of mine sent something to me some minutes ago. I said, 25 years in marriage, no vacation, no fun activity. Now today sew uniform, they go church. You think say the wife is happy with you. And I'm thinking, you may have realized that we've been separated for a while, and then you have that sudden awakening that this dissolution was not about
The other person.
our incompatibility.
Yeah.
It was just about me not doing things rightly, or me being so
Engrossed in
buried
work.
into work,
I mean, you haven't found yourself as well.
or loving wrongly.
Yeah.
Now, before we go, I would put some flesh on loving wrongly. So you could just realize that and then say, okay, you know what? Maybe we should try this again and see if it works. And then you are human. You're coming back improved. You've tasted the waters. Maybe for the guy or the woman that felt that the grass was green on the other side, you have crossed over and it's got that was actually artificial turf. Yeah, and you realize that, okay, you know what, I can actually water this grass on my side and see what happens. So there's no harm, frankly, in going back, redoing it, as long as you're going back with a positive intention to say, you know what, now I can make this work. I'm a better person. I can love this man or love this woman the way
She should or he should be loved.
he or she wants to be loved. Now, one matter I did brought these very three ingredients to the fore. This same matter that I said went as much as the MD of Diamond Bank then brought this matter to the fore. We woke up one day and discovered that, boom, they're back. We were in court one day on this same matter, and that actually positively shook my very foundation and understanding of marriage. While we're in court, the lady, and I told the court that I would rather this testimony be taken in chamber because it was going to be dirty. But the other counsel said, no, let's do it in the open court, blah, 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 and then we went on. And the lady came up with some rules that the man threw out to her during their honeymoon. He called it the 7 cardinal rules of marriage. And the man in response said to her that he made all the sacrifices he could do. You know what it is to be a banker. Most bankers I know, when they're still young and active, on Fridays like today, they won't go back home. They'll just go into the street and have fun. But this man was saying that, look, I return back from work every Friday and I'm locked indoor with you till Sunday. We do everything together. Then Sunday we go to church. Sometimes we go out for dinner on Saturdays and blah blah blah. And the man thought he was doing right by her. I know what her response was. Did you ever ask me
What I want.
if I was interested in your boring boardroom games I would play every weekend?
Wow. Yeah. Boring boardroom games. We
What
should
games were
maybe
that?
Ludo.
Ludo.
Where do we
I
play
would play
Ludo?
every weekend.
Oh my goodness.
And then I went home and I asked my wife, sorry,
Am I
you
boring?
get what that teacher they do right. When are they
They tickle your fancy.
when are they think where?
Soju, please, Soju, I beg you. Very valid.
The truth
Because
is
you know,
that
because I think it's when you're selfish. You think what I want to do is what the other person wants to do.
But most
And-
times, a lot of people are selfish.
yeah.
is that, Franca, you must love your spouse the way
They
she
want
wants
to be
to be
loved.
loved.
You love,
Yes.
not the way you
Not
want
the
to
way
love
you
her.
define
Not the
or
way
think
you
is the
understand love
yes.
to be.
Yeah, yeah.
And most of us make that blunder of loving the way we understand love to be. The way we want to be loved, and we love our spouse that way. That's not what they want. You must interact with their being and understand what they appreciate as love and loving, and give it to them.
Boring board game. And Soju,
Boardroom
you said these
games.
people came back after how many years?
2 years. I remember vividly where I was that day. I was driving back home and the call came in. I was like,
You're like, wait a minute. What
I
is
was like,
this?
I was like,
After they don't drag MD.
hello, Joe. I was like, yeah, what's up? And before you hear from outside, I'm back with XYZ. I was like, oh, wait. You're what? I called the call.
Why you the vest?
And no, I'm not vexed. I was in shock. I called the call, then I called my junior. Franca, you know her.
Yeah, I know her.
Yeah. So I called her. I was like, come. Now me and you do this matter, I beg. If you call this lady and be sure I heard right. I know women to women, it was easier for them to explain everything. And then she said, yeah, it was right. They are back. And because I was younger than I am now, and a bit more emotional in practice, I felt really bad because I took that divorce battle. I tested everything.
So would you
And
say
it
that you
was-
were a bit emotional at some point?
Yeah, he said
No,
so.
I was not. But if I were to do that today, I'm not sure I would shoot on all cylinders.
Okay.
Because now I would listen and selectively accept. Because I think she knew what would trigger me. Oh, she knew that this guy is a very prim and proper Catholic mind.
Ethical guy.
I told you.
Yeah. And but that's
Yes,
what
and so when
I
she
said
came
that as
up
well.
with the story of the possibility of sexual harassment of the child,
Remember when I said
of the
that-
marriage, I lost it and I was firing from all cylinders. So
okay,
yeah,
Sergio,
but
yeah,
they went
That
back.
must have been really dirty.
yeah, like can you imagine? Well, so,
It
can I
was a
ask a
very,
question?
very dirty divorce.
Okay,
As a
I
matter
wanna.
of fact, one day I
Oh,
was taken
wow.
out of the court, and the guy said to me that I should always watch my back.
Oh
I told
wow.
him that just in case they didn't tell you, I'm an Edo man. We fear nothing. We fear nothing that will happen behind us. Because behind us, we have our ancestors. In front of us, we have the living God.
Okay, I was going to ask here. Okay, for women who cannot afford a lawyer, there are a lot of women who are coming out of their marriages and they cannot afford a lawyer, and obviously they want something from the marriage, and so I'm asking. My question is, can women approach lawyers, or can people
Can they approach him?
okay, can they approach you? Okay, when they don't have money. Do you do your pro bono?
I have a limited pro bono cases per year.
How many pro bonos?
If they are lucky that we have openings within the year, of course we take them in.
Okay, if I may ask, what is the average charge for for most cases, such divorce cases? Like, what is the average?
You don't discuss a lawyer's fee.
Oh, I see.
There's
Okay.
no average fee for a lawyer.
It could be anything.
Every lawyer earns its fee.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
And as a rule, I do not even negotiate fees.
Okay.
I tell you what to pay to me. If you feel you can get it cheaper, go and meet them.
Oh, so you don't
I
negotiate?
don't discuss it.
Nice. Okay.
I told you. The best in Lagos. I told you. Okay, so at this point, we're about to wrap up the show because we just have 3 minutes more. Sajo, we want to really, really thank you for educating us, because I think I've learned so much
Same here.
from this conversation, and that just opened my eyes to a lot of things. I've always been very guarded with Sajo behind me. He's my oga at the top. I'm not the sheik for Lagos. He knows, So, but I just feel that in fact, somebody just sent me a message and the person said, "Oh, wow."
Yeah.
Let me read her message. She just sent me a message saying, "Oh, wow. Interesting, an eye-opener for some women."
Yes.
Because she's watching.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know these things.
Mm-hmm.
We think they know, but this is like key information for certain people to understand how to navigate certain things. So I think that was one of the reasons we came back with this conversation again, for people to understand that it's not about always seek information, always ask, always, and don't make it about money. Now, you asked a very good question, and he said they have free pro bono sessions. I think. Sajo, how many people do you take a year?
15.
Ooh, that's a huge number.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge number.
Mm-hmm. That's
okay.
a lot.
So, counselors, so you guys can, it's something that we can look into.
I can always refer.
Yeah, you can always refer, and at some point,
yes, and
I know they talk because he's a barber. He's
No.
Can
Well, I also wanted to put a disclaimer. We are not pro-divorce. Do you understand? We are not advocating for divorce.
Oh, no. We are not. We're just saying.
But if you find yourself in that situation, it's
yes.
great. It's good to be informed.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I was speaking to you today, I told you something about him, and you see, he just mentioned
and I told you that it shows that he's not about the money. I said
he
that.
said he was passionate about
I told you he was
job.
passionate about
we
his
had this
job.
Conversation today before he
that,
said
I could see ethics.
Yeah, there are a lot of
his
ethics in
principles.
his principles.
Which she was telling me about him. Yeah, and I still see it too. Good one.
Sajo, I greet
Very
you
good
specially.
to meet you. Nice
Greet you
one.
specially.
Pleasure.
So Sajo,
May I
we'll see
be
you again.
excused now?
We'll see you again next year. This is our last show for the year, so we'll see you again next year. I think we're coming back first week in January.
Okay.
So, Sajo, thank you very, very much.
I will not be back until the 3rd week of January.
Yes, I know. So I'm going to push anything that has to do with you to February.
Yeah. Okay. Can we do a toast?
Oh yeah, so we're ending the show in another 2 minutes. So Jacinta, you want to say something? Shay, you want to say something to our people?
Okay, what I would say is, you see, over time we have this. I would say,
short 30.
Okay,
30 seconds.
yeah, we'll say that growing up as a woman in Nigeria, we have this notion that when you leave your husband's house, you live with nothing. There's a lot of women struggle with this, and they just walk away with 50,000 naira or nothing. So I'm really happy that things are changing and people can seek help. So yeah, you go seek that help and seek information.
Shay, for us for the year.
Oh well, I just want to say, I've been very, very. I've been a student of this show, more like a student, and I've learned a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that we have this
and
kind
people
of,
could reach out. So
Yes.
please, just our numbers. You can send us emails on council@vodaconsult.com, and you can send us WhatsApp messages. We're not going to be live again to January, but you can send us messages and we would attend to you. So you can send us messages on our WhatsApp number 08180384663. So before we go,
Cheers! Happy holidays!
happy holidays!